I think it is extremely possible that this can be a great day. However much time is left in it, I think it is very much within the realm of what may happen that you could put your head in the pillow tonight and just be so grateful to God that you went through this day, that you existed in it. And all it takes is this one single thing. Make today about love. Devote yourself today to the task of bringing love to the people and the world around you. And this will involve two primary tasks. One of them is to notice deeply and carefully, to notice details about people, their faces and their bodies and their demeanors and their thoughts and their words. And then to notice details about the whole world, about creation, about moments, about what you learn. Notice and then bless. In each moment, see if I'm with another person, can I delight? Can I help? Can I serve? Can I breathe life into that person? And can I bless creation? Can I bring goodness to the earth, to other creatures, to the tasks that I'm doing? Make today about love. Our great teacher in this, of course, is Jesus, who brilliantly saw this is at the absolute center of human existence because it's at the center of reality. And he says this about love. We're walking together in this Lenten season as we move towards the cross, which is the matchless, ultimate, deepest expression of self-sacrificing love in human history. And then the resurrection, which is about the triumph of love and life. And on page 130 of the Renovation of the Heart, Dallas says this: we're going to make today about love. We're going to make today about love. What exactly is love? Because we have to start there. And then here's what Dallas says. It is will to good, or benevolence, good, bennies, benefactor, benefits, and then volens, volition, to will the good, that is love. We love something or someone when we promote its good for its own sake. That's simply not for my sake or what I can get out of it. Love's contrary is malice. Love is to will the good. Malice, malformation, malodorous. Mal is bad, will to bad. Abraham Lincoln understood precisely this distinction in the second inaugural. He famously said, with malice toward none, with charity, that's a New Testament word, Jesus kind of love, agape love, toward all. Where'd he get that idea? Love's contrary is malice. Its simple absence is indifference. And I'm often very guilty of that one. And so for me, part of what it means to devote a day to love is to declare war on indifference. I can sometimes find myself, even when I'm with people that I love or I want to love or I say I love, where I don't think about trying to bless them or bring joy to them. I just drift on autopilot, indifferent to the goodness and wonder around me. Its normal accompaniment is delight. So this is just brilliant, just these four thoughts. What exactly is love? It is to will to good. Its contrary is malice, will to bad. Its simple absence is indifference, and that's a great temptation. Its normal accompaniment is delight. And that's because all of creation is good because God has made it, and God experiences that delight. My friend Chuck was telling me about taking a little 4-year-old to one of those aquatic shows, and there were these dolphins that would leap all the way up out of the air. And this little 4-year-old kid, every time he saw that, he would do a double fist pump and say, "This is the greatest day ever! This is the greatest day ever!" What if that's an image of the heart of God? Because God created everything as an expression of love. My friend Ron says, love is work made visible. And we see this supremely in creation. And when God looks at creation, looks at the sea creatures that he blesses, that he forms to frolic in the ocean? What if every time a dolphin leaps up out of the sea anywhere, which is happening every second all around the globe, God is doing a double fist pump saying, this is the greatest day ever. Love, love, love. Dallas goes on, love is not the same as desire. For I may desire something without even wishing it well, much less willing it good. I might desire a chocolate ice cream cone, for example, but I do not wish it well. I wish to eat it. If I were a chocolate ice cream cone and I were animate and I heard somebody say, I love chocolate ice cream, that would not be good news to me. This, Dallas says, is the difference between lust, mere desire, and love. Desire and love are, of course, compatible when desire is ruled by love. But most people today would unfortunately not even know the difference between them. Hence, in our world, love constantly falls prey to lust. This is a major part of the deep sickness in contemporary life. And if you just pay attention, for example, to movies or to music, you will very often see how we fail to distinguish between love as willing the good, which is for the benefit of the other, and the desire to gratify what it is that I want for myself. By contrast, what characterizes the deepest essence of God is love. That is, will to good. One of the most amazing statements in all of literature. Jesus' friend John the Beloved says it twice in his first letter, 1 John in the 4th chapter. God is love. His very creation of the world is an expression of will to good. It is then expected that the world would be found to him to be very good. This is something that science cannot tell us. Science can describe things that are. It cannot tell us that they are good, but they are. His love and goodwill towards humans is therefore not an add-on to a nature that is fundamentally careless or even hostile. It is another expression, one of the more important ones, of course, of what he always and in every respect is. It is not hard for God to love, but it is impossible, given his nature, for him not to love. People will sometimes say something like, man, it's what a miracle that God could love somebody like me. No. It would be a miracle for God not to love anybody, because God is love. God cannot fail to will the good. So now today, that's the invitation to make this a great day. Notice details about you. There's a sociolinguist, she used to be at USC, maybe she still is, Deborah Tannen, and she writes about the relationship of knowing details in love. She talks about she had a great aunt, obese, balding, in her 70s, hands and legs misshapen due to arthritis, not a someone that you would think would be the object of a love relationship, but she became loved very late in life by a man also in his late 70s. And she was telling Deborah one time she had been invited out for dinner by friends, and her man friend was asking her about that afterwards, and he asked what she wore, and she began to cry when she told Deborah about that. Do you know how long it's been since anyone asked me what I wore? Anytime we care about anything, could be football, could be the stock market, could be our bodies, could be somebody else. We notice details. That's one of the things that love does. I remember watching my sister Barbie with two of our kids years ago, and it was just remarkable. I sat there for over an hour as all Barbie did was ask them a question, and then they would respond, and Barbie would watch them. And depending on their facial expression and their body language, when she saw them being moved, she would ask another question, and they both ended up in tears. It's amazing to me that she would be able to do that. I was talking this last week to a friend of mine I worked with many, many years ago. He's got a very serious diagnosis now. And it turns out he had become known by and deeply impacted by a man named Dallas Willard, he told me. And he talked about how one day when he was quite dejected, and Dallas invited him, would you come for a walk with me? And then Dallas just said, would you hold my hand? And it's so strange. We live in a world where unwanted touch can do so much damage because the power of touch is so great. But its ability to heal, Jesus so often would touch people, is so powerful that Randy remembered that walk and that conversation and that touch from a friend named Dallas many, many, many years later. So, this is our day to love. And love involves what Dallas would call a feeling tone. Its normal accompaniment is delight, but it's not simply desire. And it can be there even when the emotion of delight is not present. Two things. Today, as you walk through the day, really notice people. Look deeply into their eyes, into their faces, and listen to the tone of their voice. And when does their head droop? And when are they filled with life? Ask God to give you eyes to see and ears to hear. And then will the good. Instead of going through life maliciously, this driver, this person at work, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind like I got one to spare. Or with simple indifference, just on autopilot, today, will the good for all of God's earth, and especially the people that God loves so much. I love you. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. There are emails that go along with each episode, and if you'd like to receive those, you can go to becomenew.me/subscribe, and there you can also sign up to receive daily text alerts. We'll see you next time.